Dr. Derek Manse reporting. Dr. Mayfield delivered a bombshell this morning, demonstrating that the device at the center of the XOR community in Antiverse 2 is transmitting and receiving a continual stream of data. What that data entails, and who is receiving it, she is yet to determine. But there is no question. It is monitoring the XOR community. We must now face several facts. There is a force behind the development and dispersal of life in Antiverse 2. This force is aggressive, and whatever it may be, it is almost certainly aware of us. The implications are more than unsettling. We may be outmaneuvered in a game we didn't even realize we were playing.
We'll lay them in shroud.
This is Dr. Manse. If the XOR and its ilk were created by a conscious entity, we must search it out. Finding traces of this intelligence is like detecting electrons in a cloud chamber. We're working entirely from inference. But everything we now know points to one fact. There is a power at work in Antiverse 2, and whether it is operating against or towards us in some way, we must know. Research Director Manse filing an official note of record, copying to Keystone. I requested live samples from A3. Live samples. Instead, one of the gatekeeper mystics appears in my office with the remains of a buzztail. It had been ripped up, cut in two, and flayed by whatever force they'd employed that day. I want to be clear. I understand how important their work is, but in the name of progress, can they just follow instructions? Sometimes I'm not even sure I'm talking to a human being. Dr. Manse, Cascade facility. That hat. That damned hat. We took IS-03 through the usual paces after recovering it from a collector and nothing out of the ordinary, so we moved on to situational testing. I'm aware, of course, that protocols dictate no testing with primary research staff, but the hat seemed innocuous enough, despite its morbid progenity. After all, if we can't run a few simple tests on a simple beaver skin hat, why send us all down under in every conceivable sense of the phrase? I digress. During today's testing, I allowed Dr. Peters to run a few exercises she'd had in mind, but we've learned very little. At first she would place the hat on her head, then casually remove it, as if that was always her plan, despite voicing her intent to keep it there only moments before. Duct tape. She couldn't get it off fast enough. At least we had the foresight to protect her hair. Then she instructed myself and Dr. Yannick to hold the hat down on her head, no matter what. She's already forgiven us, but I still can't help feeling that I owe her a lunch. The hat remains on a coat rack in Dr. Peters' office until renovations are complete on the extended containment blocks. As for her outburst, the imagination with which she invoked our doom for those few seconds was, well, perhaps the hat also enhances one's vocabulary. Dr. Manse reporting. I received a note from Keystone today. Annette herself contacted me about temporal perforations, urging me to continue, even expand our work. It is one thing to open connections in space, but I am still concerned that perforations in time risk outcomes we may all live to regret. But if Annette wishes the research to continue, my misgivings are of little account. Dr. Manse reporting. At last I have visited Shadowgate, but can scarcely fathom what I witnessed there. The gatekeepers have contained a beast beyond reckoning. They claim it has been worshipped as a god and reviled as a demon more than once in our history. And I credit this. Our research has proven beyond doubt that so many deities of the past were little more than attempts by hostile entities to intrude into or even colonize our universe. Yet seeing one in the flesh is another matter altogether. The gatekeepers were typically evasive about their intentions, and I will need to monitor them closely. A captive god may prove all too tempting. Dr. Derek Manse reporting, Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility. At last I have had to face the truth of my convictions. IS-012, the shape-shifting creature calling itself Dr. Khan, is much more than it pretends. I believe we have, trapped here at Cascade, one of our species' great enemies. If I am correct, it has been identified many times in human history, under many names. From prehistory to Babylon and beyond, this creature has been trying to bring about something unspeakable. As a scientist, every fiber of my being resists this conclusion. But I am convinced he is our enduring opponent. What this means for us, and what we are supposed to do with Dr. Khan, I do not yet know. The consequences of a misstep are beyond calculation. Manse reporting. Emergency protocols in effect. Since these invaders disturbed the Dark Lens, the entire system has destabilized. A perforation has opened in the cavern above residences, drawing every ounce of energy from the air around it. We are attempting to close it. Otherwise, in a few hours, transluminal shedding will turn this place Arctic, or worse. I will report again, once we are successful. It's Manse. My prediction has come to pass. The Order have pierced our defenses, at several points, if the chaos erupting around me is any indication. They come seeking anomalies, immurement subjects, and to end our perforation research. They're rifling through Ordo storage as we speak. Treasure hunters with a savior complex. I fear they will only be content when this place is reduced to ash. We failed to close the perforation above us, and have no choice but to abandon the site. I leave it to the gatekeepers, who have been given full authority to contain, and I hope preserve. May the fates pity all who remain.
This is Dr. Lenora Riggs, Trans-Recon Echo 3. It has been more than... since the... But against all odds, we have returned to the facility. It is surpassingly strange to be back at Cascade. None of us would return by choice, and were it not for... The state of the place is catastrophic, which is no surprise, and encounter another human being. The temporal disturbance persists. Antiverses curdle space-time like off milk, and the... as unstable as predicted. But Dr. Manse's instructions were clear, and we must push deeper into the facility to have any hope of synaptic labs and the... Whether our expedition will be successful, I am uncertain. Some areas have collapsed entirely, and access may be impossible, to say nothing of the wildlife. But we must try. Dr. Lenora Riggs, Trans-Recon Echo 3, out.